Alright, what's up guys? We are back with a Master Duel deck profile. Today we are doing Harpies. But before that, do you ever want to make your Master Duel experience significantly better?
Are you ready to take your Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel Play experience to a new level? The Untapped GG Companion is here for you. Use the deck tracker to know exactly what cards you have in your deck, and to go over any cards you aren't familiar with yet by hovering over them. It instantly updates when you draw a card, and automatically hides if you check your extra deck or graveyard. This is the perfect tool to help you master a new deck. The Untapped GG Companion also lets you import decks directly into the game in seconds. Copy any YDK or YDKE deck string, create a new deck in game, click the Start Auto Import button, and let us take the wheel. Once the duel is over, check your win rate on your personal stats page. Brag among your friends and share your decks so they can import them into the game too. Start your path to master today by downloading the Untapped GG Companion at ygom.untapped.gg.
Alright, so for the deck profile here. For every single time I've done a Harpie video, I've always done some kind of one card combo, tri-brigades, infinite negate. I've done a combo that ends on an infinity, and it's actually still legal to this day. You can go look at the channel. Most of the Harpie stuff isn't hit because they never hit Harpies, let's be honest. But most of the Harpie decks that I still have are fully legal and playable. If you want to look at my channel and look for all of the old ones. But every time in the comments section, I always get I get comments that are basically saying, hey, you know, the best way to play Harpies is actually, in the most consistent way, is just to play like a rank 4 control deck. And that's exactly what I'm trying today. I think it actually is a really consistent version of Harpies here. So just to quickly go through the deck profile, obviously 3 maxis. You get to play a lot of hand traps because your engine is really small. You're just playing the Harpie engine. A lot of hand traps and then a lot of like other traps I'll go through here. 3 copies of Maxi, 3 copies of Ash Blossom, 3 copies of Harpie Lady number 1. There are different ones that are good for different reasons. You can play regular Harpie if you're playing Unexpected Die. You can also play Cyber Harpie because on normal summon she's the strongest of all the Harpies. But this one is gains 300 attack. All wind monsters gain 300 attack. So if you summon multiple, you know, they all get beefed up and it's pretty good. It can actually put a significant amount of damage on board. And then we've got Harpie Chandler. This is another important card. This card basically lets you discard a Harpie card and then summon a Harpie from the deck. And if you control a dragon monster, this becomes level 7, so you can go into rank 7 plays. It's pretty cool. Harpie Harpist, which I pulled a royal rare of this. I don't know how I get lucky with the archetypes I like. I somehow managed to pull at least one royal. But I got Harpie Harpist. She's pretty good for searching at the end phase. That's basically, yeah, basically what she does. Her first effect is like, okay, it's actually better in, it's like a decent card. It bounces one of your monsters and one of your opponent's monsters. That's okay. It's actually better, believe it or not, in Fluenderies. But the second effect is really good because at the end phase, you just send it to the graveyard and then you get to search one of the Harpie monsters. Perfumer is really good too. She basically allows you to add a card that says Harpie Lady Sisters in its text, and then if you control a level 5 or higher Harpie monster, you actually can add 2 cards that have Harpie Lady Sisters in its text. So typically you can add, if you're controlling the Pet Dragon, or if you're controlling the Cyber / Harpie, you can add 2 cards. Pretty good there. Oracle is a nice card. She's good for baiting Ash because you normal summon her, and on summon she activates an effect to add. Well, she's good for baiting like Imperm, Effect Veiler, stuff like that. Because on normal summon or any negate, because on normal summon or on special summon, she activates an effect where during the end phase you get to add a card from your graveyard, but it adds during the end phase. And even if you don't have a card in the graveyard during the time of the activation, you can still activate it, which is really cool. Sometimes you don't even have anything that you can possibly add back, but because you activate it, people are dumb and they just respond. Mist Valley Apex Avian, because we are playing the Simorgh. Nice engine there. Harpie's Pet Dragon. This card basically summons itself if you control a wind monster, and on top of that, it lets you, when it's sent to the graveyard, you can send a winged beast to the graveyard. Which, if I was playing a Tri-Brigade build, I'd send a Nerval, but usually you just send Harpist and get the search. It basically gives you a little bit of a rebate when you link summon, essentially. 2 Fenrir, number 1 because it's level 7, number 2 because it's just great at breaking boards. 2 Elegant Egotist because this card is just really good, is very searchable, and it's good. You can search it with Perfumer or you can search it with Hysteric Sign. 1 copy of Duster. Once again, it's searchable. You can search it through a Featherstorm, or you can search it through Hysteric Sign. If it gets destroyed, you can search up to 3 cards. And you can obviously pop your own card, which is nice. 1 Harpie's Feather Rest. This is basically like a Pot of Avarice that's just like built into the deck. Lets you shuffle back 3, draw 1, or if you control a level 5 or higher Harpie like this or this, you can draw 2. Awesome. This basically is an unlimited Mystical Space Typhoon as long as you summon Harpies. So if you're playing against Labyrinth, very good card. Hysteric Sign adds the Elegant Egotist on activation, which is cool. And then again, if it gets popped, not in the same turn, you can search 3 Harpie cards during the end phase, which includes the Harpie's Featherstorm. Then we play the Alluring Mirror Split. This card is another one that is just a good recursion card. It lets you, if one of your Harpies gets destroyed, you can summon another one. And also, if this card gets destroyed, you can summon a Harpie from the graveyard. Next, we've got the best card in the deck, which is the Harpie's Featherstorm. Again, I pulled a Royal. I don't know how I do it. But basically, what this card does is, if you control a Wing Beast monster, you can negate all monster effects that your opponent activates for the remainder of the turn. Every single one. It's absolutely insane. I don't know how they printed this card. It's just so good. And then if you have a Harpie's Feather Dust, like a Harpie monster on the field, you can activate this from your hand. That card, that's even crazier because they can't even like just preemptively like this card is crazy in every single way. It's almost impossible to stop unless your opponent has Red Reboot. If they don't have Red Reboot, they just have to deal with it. And you can activate it during your turn. So even if you like let's say you summon Perfumer and your opponent activates Ash, you can just instantly Harpie's Featherstorm. And then Ash is negated. They can't activate any more. Like for the rest of the turn, every hand trap they activate is all negated. Like it's absolutely broken. 3 Infinite Imperm just because we have a lot of space. 1 Rivalry. 1 Hysteric Party, and then 1 Goes in Match. This is not searchable. Might have to bump this. I was playing Skill Drain in the deck before, but I ultimately cut it. It isn't a bad card, but it just sometimes it gets in the way of things. It is actually pretty good in combination with other cards. Like Skill Drain plus like Alluring Mirror Split is just insane. You have endless resources just forever and ever and ever. And you just basically rely on your spawn trap cards. So it can be good, but generally I decided to cut it. Alright, for the extra deck, we've got, let's go like this. No, we can't do that. Cyber Slash Harpie. She's a synchro. Shouldn't be a synchro, but she is a synchro. But she's just very good. Cool boss monster. Abyss Dweller for graveyard decks. Lightning Chidori for just outing boards. And then Ice Beast Zero Find. This is good for you summon this, negate everything, and then you can attack into something random and then just attack into something random and then just make a Zeus. This is really good too for Zeus. So basically this is 3 level 4 wind monsters can attack directly, and on top of that you can just make a 3 plus itself 4 material Zeus. Pretty cool. Baguska, probably the best monster in the extra deck. Big Eye is a nice one. You can steal your opponent's monster and keep it permanently. A lot of people don't realize it is a permanent keep. It's not like Change of Heart. And then we've got Red Ice Flare. These, of course, you make with the Harpist because it turns level 7 when there's a dragon on the field. This is good for ending games. Zeus, self-explanatory. Harpie Conductor, you actually don't go on into this as often as you think. Win the Wind Charmer. If your opponent's playing Baron de Fleur, it's now your Baron de Fleur. IP Masquerena, just a link climb into Appaloosa sometimes. Tri-Brigade for G, it just, again, you just summon it. Sometimes you can summon it and then use your graveyard you can summon it and then use your graveyard and itself to go into an Appaloosa sometimes. And then you lock yourself. Not an Appaloosa, I'm being dumb. Yeah, you can basically go into some work. So if you have like 2, you can use one out of the graveyard, go into some work. And then you have Appaloosa, Bow of the Goddess. So overall, decent extra deck here. Like I said, this is my first time actually playing like the very basic control focus build of this deck. Every other time I've played like the funkiest, dumbest builds you've ever seen in your life. This is the first time I just sat down and actually played regular Harpies. Let's get to some of the replays. Alright, our first replay here is against, I believe, Dragon Link. This guy's like super Dragon Link obsessed. His name's Revolver. He's got everything going. He's going to Maxi me right here on the Perfumer. Perfumer searches, but he was going to respond with the Maxi anyway. Honestly, I'm going to search the Alluring Mirror Split. I'm not going to play into his Maxi because I don't know what he's playing and I don't want him to draw a bunch of outs. Alluring Mirror Split is the best card to search here because it'll allow me to survive during his turn. We've also got the Harpie's Featherstorm, so I don't really care what he has, frankly, because Harpie's Featherstorm will basically negate every monster effect he's got for the remainder of the turn, and then next turn, no matter what he does, I'm just gonna next turn just make a Zeus and then basically end the game that way, or put him on a timer, because I've got the Oracle on field, I've got the Harpist, like I've got a really not in hand, I mean to say. So yeah, I'm gonna activate the. As you saw there, he's going to activate that. I'm going to activate the Harpie's Featherstorm. And now every single monster effect that he activates for the rest of the turn is going to be negated. For some reason, this guy can't, like, get this concept through his head. So he's going to keep trying to activate things and probably doesn't know where it's coming from. Again, I used the Alluring Mirror Split. That'll allow me to play a little bit of a grind game. I summon the Chandler because Chandler is just really good. It lets me get to the rank 7 engine. He's going to make a Guard Dragon Pisty, attempt to activate the summon the card, and scoop there. People don't understand that, yes, the Harpie's Featherstorm is for the rest of the turn, no matter what he activates, and the next turn I would have just cleaned it up. Maybe a Zeus play, Baguska play, whatever it is. Always clean up the next turn. This next game is a bit of a grind game. We don't have like the greatest hand you could possibly imagine, but it's okay. We've got Harpie Lady number 1 into the Elegant Egotist. We're going to be able to summon some kind of rank 4 or Cyber Slash Harpie. So I ended up going on Cyber Slash Harpie because it'll allow me to use my Oracle and then add things back. He's going to Ghost Spell, which is like really odd. I didn't expect Ghost Spell whatsoever. So I was like, okay. And this guy actually won the coin flip and then chose to go second. And that's already concerning because usually it's Mekanko. Mekanko's super annoying. As soon as I saw the Kaiju, I'm like, all right, this is not going to be good. He's going to summon the Thunder King and the Ghost Mourner. And then he's actually going to Synchro Summon into the Geomathmech Final Sigma, which this card is... this deck struggles to out certain boards and certain types of monsters, and this is the type of thing that it struggles to out sometimes because this thing is unaffected by everything as long as it's in the main monster zone. It's 3,000 attack, and Harpies are just really not that high in attack, so he absolutely destroyed our board, and Featherstorm literally did nothing to even help anything we had there. We're going to draw Hysteric Party. Hysteric Party is actually quite a good card. I'm actually thinking about bumping it up because it really does help a lot. We're going to activate the Hysteric Party, discard the Mist Valley, and special summon 4 monsters from our graveyard, which is absolutely bananas. Sometimes the problem with Harpies is finding the right amount of balance of cards, right? It's the balance. Like, how many hand traps can you play? How many Harpies do you play? It's all a balance. I summon everything out there, as you saw, and it did protect our life points, which is nice. And then we're going to lose life points for the Ghost Mourner because it's basically a Vec Failer plus, and he's going to add a Gamma Seal to hand. Gamma Seal, he does not want to give us that Gamma Seal right now with the amount of counters on the field. We're going to use these two in order to make a Ice Beast Xerophine. This card's really good too. It negates everything and then gains attack equal to the amount of cards that negate it and negate everything on the field. So it gained 1,200, and we're going to go into the Zeus, of course, even though he's got the Kaijus in hand. This is really the best play I've got at the time. So we're going to go ahead, activate it immediately, because again, I saw him search a Kaiju. I'm not going to leave a Zeus on field. I might as well get something out of it. This is like unbelievable. I can't believe that Harpie's Featherstorm is absolutely bricking us right now. It is a totally unusable card because he doesn't activate any monster effects whatsoever. Every single monster effect. He just Kaijus everything, so it's like totally useless against him. It might as well be a non-existent card. We're going to Hysteric Sign here. At Elegant Egotist, obviously we don't have anything, but we're going to set the Harpie's Featherstorm, hopefully bluff. They think that we've got something good face down. They're going to go into Radiant plus the Ghost Mourner. 3 + 7 equals Baron de Fleur. So that's coming out, and he's going to activate, obviously pop a card. He's going to pop our Featherstorm. Guess what we get to search? Harpie's Feather Duster. Does that help us right now? Absolutely not. But it's fine. We're gonna get somewhere with this. It's not a huge concern. So we're going to draw for turn. We're going to get the Harpie Chandler. He's got a Max C. This is not good. I have to Ash the Max C because if I don't, I just lose, right? Because he's going to draw more Kaijus and more gas, and then we're just not going to have a chance. So I'm going to summon the Chandler, activate Elegant Egotist. We want him to negate it. He doesn't negate it. We're going to go ahead and link summon, because if, or not link summon, we're going to XYZ summon, place it in defense mode, the Baguska. I couldn't activate Chandler because he would have just negated it with Baron de Fleur, and then we would have just lost the game there. So I just went into the Baguska, gotta waste some time here. He's going to activate that, it gets negated, obviously. Our hope here is he doesn't draw Kaiju, because if he draws a Kaiju, essentially it's game. We're going to keep paying for Baguska's cost, hoping he doesn't draw Kaiju. But to be fair, he searched and used most of his Kaijus. So at this point, he doesn't have like an endless amount of Kaijus. So he's going to obviously activate here the draw one card with the Upstart Goblin. He's going to give us 1,000 life points back, which is good for us. One more turn of Baguska to buy us some time. We actually drew some good stuff, right? We got Kashtira Fenrir. We've got the Harpie Perfumer. Now we've got another Fenrir, which sucks because I would have just searched that. Summon Fenrir, activate the Harpie Perfumer, and then he's going to Ash Blossom us, which is obviously he drew it off the turns I gave him. It's my own fault, but I mean I had no choice. We're gonna activate Kashtira Fenrir. He's gonna waste the negate because I have to get that negate out of here. And again, we're at this game state, very, very like slow game state, where as long as he does not draw. Well, I mean, at this point, even if he drew a Kaiju, it wouldn't matter. So even if he did draw a Kaiju, he's going to pop my monster, attack directly for 3,000, but his Upstart Goblin gave me the life I needed to continue. Now right here, we're going to go Rivalry of the Warlords. Fantastic, but more importantly, we've got the Kashtira Fenrir. Banish that now because he's already wasted his negate. And I'm going to set the Rivalry. Rivalry, I'm going to activate right immediately in the standby phase because now he cannot get Kaiju'd. And if we can't get Kaiju'd, that means he can't summon Kaijus, because if I don't control a Kaiju, he can't special summon his Kaiju. Awesome. And now we're basically in a lockdown game state. Rivalry plus Kashtira Fenrir is just insane. And then obviously Rivalry plus any Harpie is actually insane too. But yeah, he's going to go ahead and concede because he can't Kaiju us. So the duel is pretty much over for him. That was against a going second deck. Usually I actually lose those matchups. That's a really tough matchup for this deck because they just Kaiju you and attack you, and it doesn't even matter if you have Harpie's Featherstorm or not. They just absolutely wreck you. All right, this should be the last replay. I usually do 3. Last replay is against Harpie, not against Harpies. I wish. It's actually against Johnny Bravo. I think he's on Scareclaw or Cashier. Yeah, Scareclaw, which is a pretty good deck, right? They have a pretty it's Kashtira. I think he's playing Kashtira Scareclaw. We're going to go into Baguska. Usually I'll go into Baguska if there's like, I don't know what to go into. So I just go into Baguska. He's going to Mystical Space Typhoon, which caught me off guard. There's so many better options. I don't know why he would do that, especially up in the higher ranks. Like, why would you do that? He's going to attempt to do his like special summoning, but Baguska is going to basically put a stop to that, which is good. He's going to keep doing it. I don't like to sit on Baguska. I don't really even... I like to use Floodgates sparingly, even though there are a couple in this deck. He's going to activate the Scareclaw card to basically... It's like Icarus attack, Tribute 1, Pop 2. He doesn't realize that he can't do that to Baguska because Baguska can't be targeted if it's in attack mode, so he ends up popping some totally random stuff. We're going to go main phase 2. We're going to go, I believe, into Zeus. I mean, what else are you going to go into? We're going to go into Zeus, and this is what's cool about the Harpie engine. You have so much access. You have access to the entire rank 7 engine. Also, you have access to the entire rank 4 engine, which is just incredible. And then we've got all of the hand traps, all of the floodgates that just support just really good rank 4, really good rank 7. We're going to Ash the Searcher, and he's going to concede there because... and he doesn't even know what's around the corner. We still have the Zeus, and we have the Max C ready to go if we need to. But that is the last replay for Harpies. Let me know what you think about this version of the Harpie deck. If you would change it, if you think there's a better version that you can play, if you want me to do a combo one. I haven't done combo Harpies in a while, but usually that deck, it's less consistent for sure, but the ceiling of that deck is kind of insane because you can set up infinite negates, the Tri-Brigade stuff. You can set up, obviously, a variety of different negates, but, I mean, again, you're just cutting into the overall consistency to some degree, right, because you're including more and more bricks. But that is the deck profile, and thank you for watching. La, 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 la.